Hello, welcome to another episode of Three Slips and Silly Points, but reduced
This
to
year,
two
three
slips.
slips. We're a discounted slip team now.
Now we are headed towards Champions Trophy. No longer test, so we don't need the third slip for now.
He wasn't a champion. He's basically the Sri Lanka.
Oh wow!
He didn't qualify.
Well, I'm sure Randeep is somewhere in the air between Australia and India. So the boy is visiting India for
Yeah.
a quick trip. So yeah, he should be back with us in about a week's time, uh, just when we kick off Champions Trophy. Cool. Today's agenda, we got a lot of ODI action happening. India finally managed to wrap up the series with a 3-0 victory against England. We got a lot to talk there. Pakistan pulled off their biggest run chase, to make it to the finals of the Tri Series against South Africa. There were quite
That came out of
some
nowhere.
yeah, there were quite some aggressive moments in the game as well. So we got a lot to talk. And Australia struggled to score a target of 215 against Sri Lanka in their ODI prep. So, yeah, let's jump straight into the episode and let's kick off the other way, in the other order. Let's talk about Australia, Sri Lanka.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Wrapping up the test series 2-0. And then first ODI was a reality check of the Sri Lankan conditions.
Yeah. But I feel like I don't know if it's an anomaly or if it's just a bad day at the office for Australia, or maybe the pitch was just a crazy snake pit that was just spitting around everywhere. But I still can't believe 165 all out. Like,
To start off, Sri Lanka lost 4 quick wickets, and I'm like, oh my god, the test form just is continuing in ODIs as well.
yeah.
And somehow they struggled to get the score over 200. And if history has to say, anything over 200 is a decent target in Sri Lankan conditions. 6 months ago, India toured Sri Lanka, 3 ODIs, pretty much a score of 200 plus, and we lost them.
But I think the credit over here more than the bowlers, because the pitch looked like a crazy pitch, right? The
Yeah.
crazy thing is, the credit should go to that guy.
Asalanka, who scored 125.
Nah, more than Asalanka. I think Malinga.
Really?
That one run off of 26 balls is what allowed them to go from 135 for 8, 135 for 8, to when Asalanka got out, which is 214 for 9.
Oh yeah, the anchor innings, yeah.
Yeah.
Good call out too.
And yeah, of course, Asalanka, because that's again a crazy innings in a crazy pitch.
Yeah, I was so surprised to see, and I was like, okay, I'm sure this would be, 30s, 40s, 30s, 40s coming in, and no. Asalanka scored like 60% of the team total.
Yeah, he was on a different pitch, obviously. He was probably playing on the practice pitches. But I find that crazy because, again, like that Malinga guy came in at 135 for 8. Just one more wicket. And if you look at it, if they get out then Australia wins the game because they got 165.
And that is a 79 partnership between both at run a ball. So and that's the highest partnership for Sri Lanka in the entire game.
Yeah.
But looking at
that includes the test matches too.
Looking at Australian squad, this is pretty much their Champions Trophy squad, and losing 3 quick wickets, right? In the initial 5 overs, and
I think they lost like 5 wickets for 30 runs.
Was I think it was four. It's four. The fifth one was I think inside 10 overs they lost 4 wickets and then they had a 50-run partnership. But losing until Smith in 10 overs. Yep, the pitch had some demons in it, but leading into Champions Trophy, uh, you know, I felt this is not what Australia expected out of their practice games.
To be honest, I feel like Jake Fraser McGurk, his batting style is very much like baseball, where
Mm.
if it's his day, regardless of what format it is, he's gonna have a massive impact. But if it's not his day, he will get out in the first 5 overs. Like it's guaranteed. I think his approach is like that. It's like Abhishek Sharma playing like Abhishek Sharma in ODIs. And I don't see him. I don't see Jake changing his approach for ODIs either, which is why I think I'd almost like forgive his wicket because on his day he's gonna be a neck level contributor.
Yeah, and when Australia is going to play in Champions Trophy, they'll have Travis Head as their opener as well. He was arrested for this game, so I
Oh
guess
yeah,
it's gonna go. It's only gonna get better from here.
yeah. But who do you pick as the partner of the opener? The guy who scored a duck or the guy who scored 2 runs?
Well, I'll just go with a guy who scored 2 runs, just because
Yeah, but
on his day he's gonna turn the game upside down.
but turns out the guy who scored a duck can bowl.
Yeah, okay. That's
Got him.
a well, see, I feel if you're looking at an all-rounder opener, then there's definitely a problem in your actual all-rounders who come down the order plus the bowling lineup. So I feel,
I mean, he. So I think what's happened over here is all of their all rounders are either pace bowling all rounders, and this pitch turned out to be a snake pit, so they had to bowl someone with spin, and Matthew Short was their option, and he bowled 9 overs in the game.
oh, that's true. Yeah.
And
Uh,
Pakistan's gonna turn the ball's gonna turn in Pakistan,
do you think
even if
we
it's
may?
a flat.
Let's probably have
Yeah.
a chat about it
After that, yeah, yeah.
after when we're talking about the South Africa Pakistan game. But
All right,
yeah,
yeah,
I
sounds
mean,
good.
it could be a handy spinning option if required as a backup.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Do you know much about Cooper Connolly? I've never seen him play before.
No, there were
Can
quite a
you?
few surprised listings in the squad, which I'm like, oh my
Well,
god, I haven't heard, haven't
in
heard,
all
haven't
in
heard.
all fairness, even Cricket Australia didn't know about these players until everyone was like, "I'm pulling out, I'm pulling out, I'm pulling out, I'm retiring, I'm pulling out."
That's true. That's true. That's true. So hopefully the fortunes turn around as part of their second game, which is scheduled for later today,
Yeah.
when we're recording.
But do you know the other crazy thing? I think in the batting order that they've got, I think if Manus is going to come in at 5, that's too late for Manus. He needs to come one down the way he
Yeah.
wants to bat because
I,
he can't up the strike rate in ODIs that easily.
I mean, this game, I felt they were experimenting quite a lot. They dropped Travis Head, and they wanted to give a bit of game time to this guy Cooper. Um, So I think they just had to create spots. I guess in when it's Champions Trophy time, one down is Manus, two down is Smith, and then
Okay.
all of these people should stack up at three, four, five.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. That'll be interesting.
Cool.
Um,
Moving from one interesting to the other interesting game, Pakistan versus South Africa. Run
yes.
fest, run fest, absolute run fest. 352 as target. A point in time, Pakistan had to score at eight or over eight or nine, and especially in the last 20 overs,
Yeah.
and they
I
miraculously pulled it.
I honestly didn't see this one coming. Like when I went to bed, South Africa just finished batting,
Yeah.
and they had scored 350 odd. So I was like, no way, no way, this happening. Good night, PG Pakistan. Pakistan's not going to be in the finals in Pakistan. Done.
Oh man,
Um,
Would have been a biggest upsets in a leading into Champions Trophy, not qualifying for an finals in their home country.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Um, but that's a crazy innings from Salman Aga, I think,
so,
because he was the one who was accelerating like crazy, right? Um,
have you seen the game or have you seen the
nah,
highlights?
nah,
Ah,
I like
th-
I watched the first innings, second innings, I got no clue.
this 350, the score looks massive, but the outfield has contributed to nearly 60 to 70 runs. It
Oh, like it
was
was really fast.
lightning fast, right?
That's cool.
What is usually, is has a decent chance of cutting off at the boundary, restricted to a two is a boundary, right? It was so fast, shot. Batsmen loved it. You could see from the scores. But
Yeah,
yeah,
of course.
350. I feel it is equivalent to a 280 or a 290 on any other grounds, which is not this lightning fast.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, Klaassen accelerated like crazy too. He batted it at 155.
Yeah,
So
uh,
it's not like they were batting slow.
it's not.
What did I miss
It's
out?
I think to me, uh, if I look at how South Africa attacked, one, the pitch was a highway. And Salman Aga and Rizwan are really good players of leg side. Anything short was being pulled. Anything short was actually being dispatched to boundaries. But despite that, there were a lot of balls being bowled at that. And once these two players got settled, it was so hard. It was as if South Africa had given up.
Nothing. Yeah, yeah,
Nothing was working. It's a highway pitch. Anything that was being bowled was being smoked. So I think that broke the rhythm. They lost three quick wickets, right? Losing three under 100, when chasing 350
yeah,
is massive. But yeah,
yeah.
Salman Aga and Rizwan. At a point in time, Rizwan was scoring at a strike rate of 75, and
Wow. Okay. So
then they stabilized. Last
yeah.
20 overs, they needed like 170 to chase, and
Wow.
then they smoked, right? And they get full guns because they had 7 wickets remaining, considered as a mini T20 with 0 for 3 sort of scenario.
Yeah, yeah.
They
But
pull
still
it off.
chasing down 117 the last 20. It's amazing.
It's really
Wow.
good. And again, the outfield. If this is
Lightning
the
fast.
outfield, then in the last episode, I did say, score a 350 and you probably would get away, would be decent enough to defend. You should just now up that to say 375 or 400. Unless
Yeah,
you score that, you can't guarantee a win on that pitch at least.
yeah. Interesting. I still find it crazy. Like I don't think I'd have predicted Pakistan winning if the
No,
score went above 350.
no.
Um,
It was a great
but
game.
this still holds all theories about them being a very very dark horse of Champions Trophy.
Oh
Just
yeah.
because you can't predict what they can do or what they will do.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
So and both Rizwan and Salman Aga put up this massive 250 plus partnership, which
Mm.
is pretty huge,
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's massive.
especially coming in a chase, right? So uh, I would say there was a lot of heated moments. I don't know if you had a chance to catch up on those.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that the shouldering of Shaheen.
Yeah,
He copped it
celebrating right.
fine.
Yeah, celebrating right on the face of the batsmen. And
Bavuma.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it
Aggression at
was
its
nice.
best. Right.
Uh, but I
Um.
felt aggression in a losing cause. I think that sort of pumped Pakistan to deliver.
Yeah. All guaranteed. Um. What was I gonna say? I feel like there's no point talking about the bowling because I mean, given it was a highway, there's literally
Yeah,
um, like you can't give anything. There's no bad bowling. There's no good bowling.
There was no single bowler that had an average below 5.5. Everyone's getting smoked.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the other big boy games.
Oh, yes.
Um,
India, England, 3-0. Well, I've
yeah.
been proven wrong, so I apologize.
Like I know why you wanted India to lose this game because you're like the one loss that they need just come now before the Champions Trophy. I get the logic. I get the brown man thoughts.
um,
Um, the way England's going, it just looked impossible. And like, did you see the massive rant from Kevin Peterson?
no,
So Kevin
I didn't.
Peterson literally just went on and on saying how they haven't gone like England as a team into practice since the first ODI.
Mm,
So they haven't practiced except for Root. No one's practiced, and they're like they've been playing golf, they've been eating food, this and that. Why are you not
uh,
practicing? How
yeah,
are you going to get better in these conditions if you don't practice?
and I saw this comment from Ben Duckett, which says, if they win
Oh
Champions
yeah,
Trophy, no one's going to ask about the 3-0 loss against
he's
England.
not wrong, but
India. He's not, but it's a steep hill, right? You want to carry a bit of a positive momentum. A trophy win would be amazing, or at least win your last game. So at least you start kicking off on a winning note.
some momentum.
Kicking off 3-0 after a 3-0 loss, facing going into your first game in Champions Trophy. There's always a lot of nerves to catch up on.
Yeah, but I also actually think um, they've picked their Champions Trophy team and they want the Champions Trophy team to play together in this series. So even if the conditions are not suited to this team, they've just played the 11 that's going to play in the Champions Trophy. Now, that's not necessarily their best 11 for India. And I think that's where the problem is.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if we did say that India should stick with their playing 11. Yeah, that's fine. If England's done that, which is good, but sticking to playing 11 and also having to play as if they're gonna win the game, or
Yeah,
preparing for Champions Trophy. I think we after the first couple of games we did talk about their approach towards either batting or to their batting mainly, that there's no structure, there's no sort of, all right, we've lost 2 wickets, let's hang in there, build a partnership. That
yeah.
structure, irrespective of if this is not suitable for the conditions as well, you got to display the structure, and I think that was lacking quite a bit in all 3 games for them.
Yeah. And I feel like I read this article, or I think I watched it in an interview somewhere. They're saying India's also attacking, England's also attacking, but the percentage of shots that England plays to get runs are not repeatable, whereas
Mm,
India's attacking shots they choose to play are very repeatable, where you know that, hey, Shubman Gill plays this hit to hit a six, he can do this 10 more times and he's not going to get out. Why? Because, for one, he's not taking on a fielder. Second, even if he mistimes it, it'll land in a gap where there's no fielder there. So it'll just drop, and then it'll go one bounce four. Whereas England, their approach is, hey, this is one shot I know how to play. I'm going to go bang with it. It's
mm.
unorthodox, it's high risk, but this is how we play. But I feel like that's not how you can play ODIs because ODIs has this
Is
massive period between the 15 over and the last 10 overs, which you have to
Yeah,
survive and accumulate.
correct.
Uh,
And and also, the approach. If you see how India constructed their innings, at no point in time they were running, less than 6 runs an over, and it was essential. Let's get one big shot in the over and rotate the strike. Your
yeah,
typical ODI formula, right? Consistently scoring 7-8, 7-8, 7-8, and if they're lucky, they're getting big scoring shots. But essentially, just a boundary, rotate, boundary, rotate. So
but that's the thing, right? The big shot was a low risk big shot.
exactly,
They've picked a
exactly.
gap to score something. Um, but England just didn't do that. They wanted to do brute force, try and get the runs as quick as
Hmm.
possible. And that's probably where they're actually
I,
like going down.
that's the T20 mindset, right? It works in T20 format because
Yeah,
it's only 20 overs. You bang, bang, blink of an eye,
exactly.
you lose a couple of overs and the whole momentum is shifted. So this
Yeah,
brute force way of playing creative shots would definitely work in T20 format.
yeah, and you'll be able to win most T20s just on one batter sticking around and going big. In ODIs, that's
No.
not necessarily true. Even if you have like every now and then it might come true. Like in Sri Lanka's case, like Jadit Sri Lanka has scored one century and they've been able to win, right? But like more often than not, you're gonna need three or four batters to put their hand up and score big to actually win the
Exactly.
game in the end.
Yeah, and
Um,
again, yeah, I think we did speak about this. I think in the last or even the one before, where you need someone big at a big score followed by contribution of 40s or 50s from three to four other players to accumulate that massive score, or even attempt the run chase as well.
yeah,
I don't think England's getting any of that. Um, and also, I guess, the Indian bowling with the whole spin combo sort of stripped England's whole plans. Uh, and I think England should be prepared if this is their weakness. I'm sure every other team's going to bring in spin into the middle overs or quite early when playing against England.
yeah, but it depends, right? I think all of their group games are going to be in Pakistan, and on those highways, the ball might not even spin. It'll
Sure.
just, yeah. But the other big bonus for India is Iyer is just as good of a form as Gill. So they've got two players who are in red hot form right now, who are
Yeah.
contributing every single game. England doesn't have a single batter that you can say that about.
Uh, um,
No one's accumulating, no one's scoring on the regular.
yeah, absolutely. You got these two who are consistent in all three games. You have one of two, either Rohit or Kohli is consistently. So you could pick one of them to contribute.
Yeah,
And then you have your regular, Akshar Patel's come really good in that whatever, 3, 4 spot that he's playing. He's contributed in the last two games. Kale's done it. Hardik comes in, and then Jaddu comes in towards the end, scores, at a whatever 20, 15, 30 runs, but at a lightning pace to close out the
yeah,
innings.
yeah. Like I feel like India has so much batting in this 11. Like
Yeah,
there's only three. Like even Harshit Rana can actually bat, but let's not count him. So everyone up till Harshit Rana is a batter, like a full batter. They're not like a bowler who can bat. Every single
yeah,
person can get into an 11 with just their batting. Um,
absolutely.
yeah,
Oh,
hopefully it comes
yeah.
through for them in the Champions Trophy.
Well,
Um,
Champions Trophy is 5 days away from kicking off. I think this is as best as they can do
yeah.
leading into Champions Trophy.
Um, but I have a special mention for Adil Rashid. That
Mm.
man has been so good. I think the only bowler that looked like he's threatening every single batter whenever he comes on. He did, and that's probably why I'm okay for Ayer gifting him his wicket to Adil Rashid because he was just so good.
Yeah,
Did you see his wicket?
yeah.
Down the leg. Like if he
Uh,
leaves it, he gets one run for free. But he's like, no, 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 I'll nudge it into keeper's hand. But again, I mean, he did the damage beforehand because he.
yeah.
That's the thing. Until okay, fine. Sorry, I'm gonna digress back to Ayer. In this whole series, if you look, 3 out of 3 games, England hasn't gotten him out. He has gotten himself out. I'm pretty sure he got run out. He got run
Yeah,
out in the second game. This game, the ball was outside on like the seventh stump on leg side, and he's like, "Here you go, Salt. Here's a catch." And I'm pretty sure in the first game he may have gotten run out also, or
vaguely.
out of a run out. I'm pretty sure.
He's got something. He's done something to himself to get out, rather than uh,
Yeah. Oh no, it was LB,
strength.
LB, LB to
LV.
Bethel.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Right. Maybe one game they got him out, but I'm sure he was trying to play some fancy shot to
uh,
LB himself.
yeah. Well, 6 out of 8 teams that are playing Champions Trophy have been practicing leading in, trying to build some momentum, and then you have two dark horses, one in each of the groups. Afghanistan and Bangladesh chilling out. Uh, I'm sure they've got a big upsets planned out for themselves in the Champions Trophy.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I think this is it, really, right?
Yeah, I think our next episode's gonna be reviewing the Champions Trophy teams, and then like the Cricket World Cup, we would do a predictor as well. So let's see who's gonna win this time around. And
Done.
yeah, and then in about 5 days, 3 weeks of non-stop action. So there's 12 games back to back every day starting the 19th of Feb, and then they've got semis and finals. So it's going to be an interesting 15 game drama. I hope it's there's a lot of drama in that. Because yeah,
Yeah.
without drama, we wouldn't have much to talk about. It's like, yep, Australia's
Exactly.
made it. Yep, England's made it. No, no, no. Australia struggled to make it, or England fought hard. Cool, cool. All right. So stay tuned for our team reviews and all the fun action around Champions Trophy. Like us, share us, subscribe, comment, and yeah, stay tuned until
Watch
our
your
next
old
episode.
videos. Watch your
Yeah,
old videos.
all videos somewhere up there. All right. Thanks, folks, for tuning in. See ya.
Bye.